Hey guys, Cal here bringing you another video. This one is going to be Sneaky Goblin farming up here in Titan. Ooh, there is, as you've noticed, I'm not boosting the super wall breaker, and that's because for specifically war, I use a super dragon army, and because some other people might also want to be able to war and not have to use their super troops on both sneaky goblins and sneaky goblins and super wall breakers. I'm doing a pretty much experiment here to show how you can do it actually without the super wall breakers. So that's a quick little showing on why I use super dragons. Kind of crazy, but we're pretty much just using the sneaky goblins and the jump spells. And if you're really tight on Dark Elixir, this means that you can do this without wall breakers, saving yourself an extra boost. If you are doing this, I recommend not taking this CC, but taking a triple invisibility spell CC, just so that if you do need that invisibility spell, you don't have to bank. You can still have it without having to alter your composition. And why would we have invisibility spells? Well, the invisibility spell is mostly there for if you need to trigger an invisibility trap. If you hit a Town Hall 15 and they are running that invisibility spell tower, you want to not be blown out by that, as well as if you fail with the Warden and you want to still get that star without losing, you can use your invisibility spell to, of course, get into there. Now, if you are a longtime viewer of the channel, you know that when we say farming, we really mean just kind of sniping out town halls and pushing, because there we go, because that's just kind of what we do on the channel. Through getting multiple wins, you get a small win bonus. This one, of course, is only 8k. We're not going to pay attention to that, but every win you get, you'll get a small win bonus, and the higher up you are in the trophies, the bigger that will be, and that adds up quickly over time. And it's easier to find a lot of bases when you are doing it this way, meaning that if you ever do run into a dead base or a base that offers plenty of loot, you can easily snipe out those bases and not have it really affect your trophy range too much. So we're going to keep on rolling here. Going to use a test sneaky goblin. Always make sure to use a test sneaky goblin, especially if you're using this composition, as you only have one warden ability, and if that gets messed up, then you don't have any second option, and the higher up you go in trophies, the more detrimental those losses will be. But even then, 7%, I got 30,000, which of course again doesn't sound like a lot, but it does add up as you keep on hitting these bases. So here we have another one, and we're going to go in here. And the reason why we have all jump spells, of course, is sometimes you'll need one jump spell, sometimes you'll need two, and really to make sure that you'll never run out of jump spells, we're just using a lot of jump spells. If you want to increase your win bonus, you can do this and just snipe out easy buildings on the outside. I wouldn't recommend doing anything more than that, and that will get your percentage up, and then you can, of course, go straight into here. Oh, I didn't even realize my warden is on air. But here is going to be a good example of we didn't test very well, and because our warden is very low level, it's going to get taken out. We got double sprung right there, and this is kind of an example of why you would want to, and here at 84,000, you would want to over commit to your testing. Maybe instead of just one, send in a handful, because we have so many extra sneaky goblins now in the composition, no longer have the wall breakers. You can afford to be doing that. So something to keep in mind. Let's switch this warden to ground really quick. But because, of course, we have that extra life with the Warden, we are able to keep on going. But because ours is level 1, it takes a lot of damage really quick. And here we have an invisibility tower, so we're going to send in one Sneaky Goblin, of course, to test for traps. And, oh, this one, it looks like it will trigger it on its own, but sometimes it doesn't have the damage or the staying power to really trigger those invisibility spells every single time. So having the invisibility spell to help you trigger that is very beneficial. And you get your easy star bonus through this. Already hit 5. I wasn't sure how many stars we had in the beginning, but yeah, you just keep on sniping the outside, and the higher you go, the more people that will have easier to access town halls. As the higher you go, the less people usually care about loot here. So we're going to keep on going. And another reason why we're pushing here is I do want to try Legend League. Legend League apparently can be pretty good. You might switch to Electro Dragons if you are interested in that, to see if it's more beneficial to kind of stay up there and get that win bonus as, come on, let's go, okay, and get that win bonus as you never actually lose loot when you're in Legend League, and as long as you attack 8 times a day, even if you're doing quite poorly, people usually don't out attack you. You just won't go very high in trophies after getting to Legends, but you'll be able to stay in Legends as long as you keep on attacking there. So going to keep on trying that. Maybe we'll even stick with the Sneaky Goblins up there in Legends, show you all maybe a 2-star attack strategy with the Sneaky Goblins. But of course, with these level of heroes, it does become a little bit more difficult, as the heroes won't be getting as much value as they would had they been maxed out for that town hall. So here we have another invisibility tower, and even though we're town hall 14, we're going to be hitting town hall 15s. This one again very close to the edge, so we don't need to use an invisibility spell for that. And this is why we have it, oh my god, this is why we have it in the CC, because like we're not even using any invisibility spells here. It's quite rare that you ever have to use one, so that's why it feels sometimes that it's a waste of space in the army composition, whereas when it's in the CC, it doesn't feel as bad. And you don't even have to use your medals for this, because I'm sure, especially if you're in my clan, which you are welcome to join if that is something you want to do. I'll show it after this raid. We'll be giving you those invisibility spells whenever I get on and are capable of donating them. But let's keep on going here, and let's pop the Warden. Hopefully we can take out this town hall. Nice. And yeah, we're going to keep on going. And see, sometimes you get raids like this, 674,000 elixir, and we're just sniping. So it's like, just through trophy pushing, you will gradually gain that that loot just over time. And I've never really felt that I'm too far behind if I'm consistently doing it. Of course, if you are lazy and you don't raid, then that isn't the attack strategy's fault. That's more of you not putting enough time into the game, which of course each person has a different amount of time they can put into each session of farming. And if you maybe want more loot at a quicker rate, then probably going a little bit lower could be helpful. But I value the ore as well being increased with the trophy range. The higher you are, the more ore you get, and that's also why we're considering going to legend here. So here we have a base with a lot of loot on the outside. Not a lot of loot, of course. You aren't going to find super dead bases here, in the high ones, but you'll find easy accessible loot. So I'd rather hit a base like this than a really dead base with all the loot kind of in the core. So let's keep on going. We'll probably get one more raid in after this, as we only have 33 goblins left, unless we don't make it. Yep, we made it. And the warden is so broken now, so being able to snipe out these town halls, even at level 1, I believe, with the maxed out warden eternal tome. And of course, if you don't have the warden upgraded, as in the equipment eternal tome, going up in trophies will of course help you get that get maxed out quicker, but it also means that you might not be able to go as deep as some of the raids we're doing here, just because you have less time in that ability. But definitely the rage and the eternal tome is definitely where you should be putting your resources into. Get those maxed out as soon as possible, as it is probably the most important, if not the like top 5 most important abilities in general. The eternal tome, the rage, definitely is player dependent, but if you are sneaky goblin farming like this, the rage will make it so that your sneaky goblins need less time on the town hall because they're getting that damage boost. And as we are timed to get these town halls down, any way to increase the time that doesn't require us to like use a rage spell or anything is going to be very helpful. So hopefully you all did enjoy the video. Let's check out how many attacks we got. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 attacks in. That's 10 stars. So if you're trophy pushing, you definitely get a lot of loot here. And not even counting the loot bonus, it's like what? We got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 plus 13, 20, 21, 22. So about 2.2 million elixir, which is more than if you got 1 million raid elixir raids, and that's not even counting the loot bonus we got for getting those stars. And we got plenty of dark elixir. And this is just like, it just gradually happens. It isn't flashy, it isn't all in one, but it's about consistency. And that's kind of what people talk about in the comments sometimes, is they get a lot more loot and they lose a bunch of trophies, but you always have to push back up. And sometimes you just don't find those bases. Whereas here, this is consistent. It's very like, you're minimally going to get like 2 mil. You're not going to have to wait for a long time searching. It's just very consistent, and just through being consistent, you'll pretty much outpace whoever is kind of getting those big spikes, because the spikes feel really good, but it also feels really bad when you don't find those spikes and have to push back up. So hopefully you all did enjoy the video, and let me know in the comments how you're enjoying this strategy. If you do value those wall breakers, and you are going to continue to boost them. But I think I might be done with the wall breakers, honestly. This one feels better. It allows me to be active in war while allows me to be active in war, and I think this one might be the way to go moving on, as now you aren't wasting space for the invisibility spell, and you're not wasting space for the sneaky goblins. We didn't even use any invisibility spell this episode, and we only, if those sneaky goblins didn't trigger those town halls, we would have had to use 2. So definitely great adjustment here. I think this is the composition going forward, and let me know if you are going to use this composition, and if you are, let me know if you had any success with it. So hopefully you all did enjoy the video. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.